Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Thursday, August 27, 2020. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. And as a brief reminder to any advertisers, any businesses, or folks looking to sponsor a segment, just shoot us a quick email at ads@floridanationalnews.com, and we'd love to get you started. In the meantime, guys, you know we always like to get you guys started with the latest COVID-19 reports globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. So globally, according to the World Health Organization, they're reporting over 24 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 and over 821,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, according to Johns Hopkins, we're seeing over 5.85 million confirmed cases, and we have now crossed the 180,000 mark in terms of confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, according to the Department of Health, we're at nearly 612,000 confirmed cases, and we're pretty much right at 11,000 confirmed deaths here in the state of Florida, unfortunately. Bit of unfortunate news there. We'll continue to keep you guys updated as always with the latest reports. Coming into our world story, bit of an interesting feud here between Brazil and China over some chicken wings. Yes, you read the lower third correctly there. But Brazil had exported chicken wings to China, and China is saying that perhaps the chicken wings could potentially have COVID-19 in them or could potentially cause a spread of COVID-19. So Brazil is saying, prove it, essentially. That is the current feud between them. Brazil asked the Chinese authorities to provide results of lab tests that detected traces of COVID-19 on the chicken wings that they exported, according to a statement sent to Reuters by Brazil's agriculture industry yesterday. The request was made during a meeting in the city of Shenzhen in the Guangdong province, where Brazilian agriculture attaches met local health and trade officials there. Now, in response, according to the statement, the Chinese participants said the results are being kept by health authorities of Guangdong, who didn't participate in the meeting. The Brazilians are saying that they will continue to liaise with China's municipal, provincial, and central governments to obtain the lab reports as well as other relevant information pertaining to the case. Now, the reason this is a feud going on is that there is a contamination claim. The chicken wings produced at a Brazilian poultry plant, which is registered under SIF number 601, this is according to the statement. Aurora is the name of the company that operates the facility in southern Brazil, and it voluntarily suspended poultry exports effective August 20th, pending more clarifications regarding the alleged contamination. So very interesting. According to the Brazilian government, Chinese officials at the meeting said 3 samples had tested positive for COVID-19, 1 taken from the wings and 2 taken from the packaging of products coming from Aurora's plant in the town of Xaxim, I believe it is, Xaxim. But we'll keep you guys updated on that. More from the statement, it says the health authorities in Shenzhen were unable to say whether the findings concerned only the detection of the virus genetic material or the active virus, nor were they able to provide further information about the alleged finding. So the alleged contamination actually led the Philippines to impose a temporary ban on the same poultry meat imports from Brazil, while Hong Kong also halted chicken imports from that same facility. So very interesting. We'll continue to keep you guys updated. Now, jumping here to the United States, as you guys already know, there is a race for COVID-19 testing, particularly, with the president's push to be able to have testing available by the end of this year. So the U.S. government has approved Abbott Labs' $5 COVID-19 rapid response test for mass use. So that's a bit of good news for Abbott Labs. Congratulations to Abbott Labs for that. Here's a little bit more about that for you guys. Now, Abbott Laboratories had won the Food and Drug Administration emergency clearance for its portable test for COVID-19 that will sell for just $5 and allow for frequent mass testing in an array of sites, including schools and workplaces. According to the company, they said that in a statement on Wednesday morning. The FDA's emergency use authorization awarded Abbott's Binax Now COVID-19 Ad Card rapid test. They authorized that, and this could be a game changer given that it turns around results within 15 minutes and could be administered in the schools and workplaces and other sites. Now, this is another one that does require the nasal swab by a health professional. So it's akin to a pregnancy test in the use of what's called lateral flow technology, and is about the size of a credit card. There's no equipment required, and the device will be an important tool to manage risk by quickly identifying infectious people so they don't spread the disease to others. And this is what Abbott said in their announcement when they announced the FDA's emergency use authorization for their test. The company back in March received the FDA emergency use authorization for the ID Now COVID-19 rapid molecular point of care test that can be used in temporary screening locations, doctor's office labs, and nursing homes to detect COVID-19 within a half an hour. So the one that was just approved can now give you results in 15 minutes, in half the time. Binax Now is different than ID Now in that it requires, quote, no instrumentation, according to Abbott. And the new Binax Now includes a companion mobile app that Abbott will launch for the iPhone and Android devices and make available at no charge, called the Navic ATM, that quickly displays the test results. Abbott said that the new Binax Now test will begin to be shipped by the end of the month, with the company expecting to produce 50 million such tests by October. So that is some great news there. Now, jumping here to the state of Florida, you guys heard us talk yesterday about several universities across the country that have begun to threaten suspensions for students that are engaging in large gatherings or parties going on. So Central Florida universities are kind of considering doing the exact same thing, particularly UCF. You know, obviously UCF has a very large campus, a very large student body, so they want to limit the spread of COVID-19. So Stetson University in DeLand and the University of Central Florida are warning students that large gatherings could lead to suspension. In a statement, it says, quote, "We made it clear to students before they came back that if you hosted a large gathering, there was a potential that you could be suspended for the semester." This is according to Vice President for Campus Life and Student Success at Stetson University, Lua Hancock. She said students who attend parties could get in trouble as well, and that the school is already starting to crack down. She said, quote, "The first weekend we were open, we were aware of 2 small gatherings, and the students who hosted them were suspended until we could put them through the conduct process until we could figure out what to do." Now, as of Wednesday, the school had 57 cases of COVID-19, including some linked to a fraternity. Now, jumping over to UCF, the school warned the students that it must follow city and county ordinances along with the school's policy when it comes to gatherings. It said all in-person gatherings must be approved and virtual gatherings are preferred when possible. Now, UCF's Vice President of Student Development and Enrollment, Mary Beth Ahaz, said in part that "I want everyone to understand that knowingly and willingly breaking the rules in our policy or the student code of conduct comes with consequences, which can be as severe as removal from housing or from campus." So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here in Central Florida and you are a student at any of these campuses, continue to be careful and please don't push your luck. It's okay. It's not worth the risk. It's okay. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a quick commercial break, guys, and we're going to come back with some more news stories for you. Stay tuned.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. And jumping into your next U.S. story, as you guys have likely been following, Hurricane Laura is doing some serious damage in the sort of Texas, Louisiana area as it continues to go up and continues to make its landfall. It gained strength. Originally, you guys heard us talk about it yesterday as a Category 3. It is a Category 4 and basically made a world of damage. Residents along the upper Texas and southwest Louisiana coast, they had to rush to finish up operations for completion, as the hurricane decided, to go ahead and make landfall. It is now Category 4 with 150-mile-an-hour winds. And there's some slight additional strengthening that was going to be possible between Wednesday night into this morning. Now, sustained tropical storm force winds and heavy rain were spreading onshore on the Louisiana coast, and Laura prompted, hurricane and storm surge warnings for the entire northwest Gulf Coast. Now, a life-threatening storm surge was expected. You guys saw some of the damage in several news reports throughout the day. The National Hurricane Center forecasted that Laura would curl more towards the north during the day today. Now, it appeared much of the Houston metro area would avoid a worst case scenario since, Laura was expected to track east of the city, but parts of the metro area would still receive rain and strong winds. So Laura, brought a catastrophic storm surge, flooding rainfall, damaging wind impacts parts of Texas and Louisiana Gulf coasts. And obviously, as you guys heard us forecast last night, it was going to hit the hardest between last night and today. Now, the National Hurricane Center also predicted about 15 to 20 feet above ground level inundation from Johnson Bayou, Louisiana to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge in Louisiana, including Calcasieu Lake, if it occurs at high tide, of course. The storm surge could be 10 to 15 feet above ground level in areas near the border between Louisiana and Texas, including Sabine Lake. So for those in those areas, we hope we pay our respects to you. We hope you were able to evacuate. Please be sure to reach out to your family, friends, loved ones who are in those areas to make sure that they were okay. And as you guys heard us report yesterday, the governor issued that order for folks to evacuate out of there and for Houstonians who didn't need to be on the roads to avoid being on the roads. Now, jumping back here to the state of Florida, obviously the hurricane stuff is nothing new to us. We're used to that. But jumping over here, just a bit of an update for you guys with regards to what I mentioned yesterday about Governor DeSantis applying for the additional federal unemployment aid. He indeed has done that. And this, of course, is a result of what one of the president's executive orders, particularly since the second massive stimulus bill that was pending, that would include the $1,200 stimulus checks for all American residents. That hasn't been ironed out yet. So in the meantime, Governor Ron DeSantis decided to go ahead and apply that. He announced that the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity would submit Florida's application to participate in the Lost Wages Assistance Program. That is the official name for it. The program will give Floridians who have been unemployed due to the COVID-19 virus temporary benefits of $300 a week. He said, quote, "On behalf of Floridians who are continuing to face challenges finding employment, I would like to thank President Trump for providing additional funding while they get back on their feet. We appreciate the opportunity to provide this temporary assistance through the Lost Wages Assistance Program." And as I mentioned yesterday, this would provide benefits for those who are eligible for reemployment assistance for weeks of unemployment ending on or after August 1st, 2020. Obviously, Florida's application still needs to be approved, so we'll keep you guys updated there. Stay tuned to Florida National News for updates on that. To be eligible, you must be currently receiving at least $100 in an approved reemployment assistance program weekly benefit amount, and you must certify that they are unemployed or partially employed due to COVID-19. Payments will be retroactive to August 1st, pending approval. He said, quote, "Floridians who are currently receiving reemployment assistance benefits are unemployed or partially unemployed due to COVID-19 and are currently receiving at least $100 a week will be eligible to receive the additional $300 benefit funded by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or as you guys know it, as FEMA. Now, no additional application will be necessary, and eligible Floridians will receive their benefits the same week they receive their weekly reemployment assistance benefits." So we'll continue to keep you guys updated. Stay tuned here at Florida National News for more updates. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business and sports story. Stay tuned.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin Clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin Clean.
The kid does have a
That's
point.
My hand is clean. Yeah.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. Now, jumping into your business story, in a bit of good news, the Central Florida theme parks have touted that they have had no COVID-19 outbreaks. So that's great news coming from the theme parks, particularly given the crowds and the main concern that crowds tend to be kind of a hotbed for the transmission of COVID-19. But of course, the theme parks are largely outdoors, so that is helpful. Here's a bit of an update where that's concerned. Leaders from the theme parks in Central Florida, they gathered for a roundtable with Governor DeSantis on Wednesday telling those watching that they hope guests will return soon. They wanted to encourage folks to come on back out to the parks and have a little bit of fun so that they can start also hiring their workers back. The CEO of SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, Mark Swanson, said, quote, "I think people crave that entertainment. They want to get out and do things." Now, representatives from Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando Resort, and SeaWorld Orlando were encouraging their guests to return. John Sproles, who's the VP CEO of Universal Parks and Resorts, added, "I think we've been able to prove that all of us can operate safely and create not only a great environment for guests, but a safe environment for the guests. How we get that message out so more people feel comfortable coming here is what's going to help all of us." Now, according to the governor, there's been a 67% decrease in visitors to Central Florida, which makes it a bit difficult for several of the furloughed employees to be able to come back because the parks kind of need that extra revenue. Now, all three major theme parks have had to cut thousands of employees as they dealt with the large revenue losses in that second quarter when COVID-19 hit the state of Florida in earnest. Now, they're hoping visitors will return soon so the workers can as well. James McPhee, who's the Senior VP of Operations at Disney World, added, quote, "We've brought tens of thousands of cast members back and hope to continue to do that as demand moves forward." Governor DeSantis said that getting more visitors back to Central Florida as a whole will have a positive ripple effect on small businesses. He said that he is also looking to work with airlines that can convince people to come back to Florida as well. So we'll continue to keep you guys apprised of that, particularly since we are right here. The theme parks are in our backyard. Now, jumping into our sports story very quickly, Phil Mickelson, aka Lefty, has made history in the Ozarks with the PGA Champions Tour. He actually made the first debut win. This is his first time winning as a debut in the Champions Tour, so congrats to him. And his first 2 days of performance kind of buoyed that win. The PGA Tour champions, let me say it that way, at the Charles Schwab Series. So congrats to Mr. Phil Mickelson. He carded a 3-round score of 191 that tied for the lowest 54-hole score ever in his debut on the Champions Tour. So that is great news. You see him with the triumphant and beautiful trophy there. He also became the 20th player in the senior circuit's history to win in their debut. His final score of 22 under was buoyed by an opening round of 61 in which he downed 11 birdies, so that is awesome, and paced the field very early in what turned out to be the best round of play by any golfer on the field all week. So he carded a 64 on Tuesday and a 66 on Wednesday. That's what helped him get that victory. So congrats to him on that. Now, in the meantime, guys, I'm going to take one final commercial break, and it is Thursday. So our lovely Jamesia Stoudemire is on hand backstage to bring you the entertainment 4 for 4 when we come back on the other side of this break. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
You need time to stand still or get up and go. You need to unplug or to reconnect with those who matter most. You need to kick back, to dive in, to have your moment in the sun. You need a palace to lift your spirits, to taste the finer things. You need room to feed your soul, to remember why you travel. You need Lowe's. The legendary Lowe's Don Cesar Hotel, St. Pete Beach. The room you need.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. As I mentioned, it is Thursday, so our lovely Jamesia Stoudemire is here with the Entertainment 4 for 4, and it is always a pleasure to have her on. Good afternoon, Jamesia. How's it going?
Going good. It's sunny as always in Los Angeles, California. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Always glad to see you. Glad you are safe, especially given what's going on with the wildfires. So glad to hear you're safe.
No, we definitely have had a lot of small, I'm not, again, everyone, I'm not near the fires. They are more so in the valley, not in the inner city. But definitely you can tell by the air quality and just like the smoke it looks like fog, but it's definitely smoke. But we're doing okay out here. Thank you so much for asking. All right, guys, let's get it started.
Absolutely.
Let's get started with the entertainment 444. Again, my name is Jamesia Stedemeyer, and I'm reporting live all the way from Los Angeles, California. So with number 1, TikTok CEO resigns. Alrighty, guys. So Kevin Mayer was a former CEO of Disney. He actually was a chairman of, he was executive chairman of direct-to-consumer business and oversaw directly the launching of Disney Plus. So this past May, Kevin Mayer resigned from Disney and decided to take the job with TikTok. Now, as we all know, TikTok has been in the news constantly with the bans that have been looming over them that have been enforced by President Donald Trump, or that's trying to be enforced by President Donald Trump. And with these bans looming over them, Kevin's job originally was to try to get the company sold into a U.S. owner, like they're trying to do with Microsoft right now. However, with just the political environment, he has decided at this time to go ahead and resign. And I actually have a letter that they obtained from the employees, and it says, in a letter to the employees obtained by the Hollywood Reporter, Mayer said that political environment had caused him to reconsider the job. In recent weeks, as the political environment has sharply changed, I have done significant reflections on what the corporate structural change will require and what it means for a global role I signed up for. And against this backdrop, and as what we expected to reach as a resolution very soon, it is very heavy, with a very heavy heart, that I wanted to let you all know that I have decided to leave the company. So, and he said, really, it's the political environment, the bans that are looming. Right now, TikTok is suing Donald Trump for trying to enforce the ban. So it's just a lot going on over there at TikTok. But honestly, guys, I do not see it. I do not foresee it being too good for TikTok, especially now that they've lost their American CEO. But stay tuned, because you know the story will not end here. Number 2, Kanye West is suing Ohio election head. So Mr. Kanye West is on this run for presidential election. And what has taken place in the state of, and Ohio is not the only state that has decided to say no-go for Mr. West. But in this particular case, Kanye West had submitted the paperwork that was required for the signature. So it's 1,500 signatures. However, the Ohio State Secretary, whose name is LaRose, I believe, Frank LaRose, rejected those signatures and the paperwork because the signatures and the names were mismatched. So that was his reasoning for, declining it. However, the facts that Kanye West's attorney is stating is that they're not able to do that unless it's against the law of Ohio, or it didn't deem anything bad. So they're in the process of this, but it's very funny because, as I said, this is not the only state that has decided to, say no to Mr. West. His home state of Illinois, which is where Chicago is, he didn't make the ballot, as well as Wisconsin. He was late, and in Montana, he was short on signatures. But it's even more interesting that he withdrew from the ballot in New Jersey. So, Mr. West, what is going on? We just don't get it. And I just, at this time, I want everyone to vote. But I just don't know, Mr. West, what you're doing. You got to explain to us here, okay? All right, guys, let's go on to number 3. Moana voice actress has a new live action project. So, and excuse me, guys, if I pronounce her name wrong, Oli Cravola, who received, at the age of 14, was casted as the voice of Moana in the Disney movie Moana. And she is a Polynesian princess, a beautiful queen from Polynesia. But now at the age of 19, she will star in a Netflix live action movie that is titled All Together Now. And it is actually releasing this Friday. So she is definitely stunned. This book is actually centered around the author's novel, Matthew Corrick's novel, Sort of Like a Rock Star. And it's going to be directed by Brett Haley. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Netflix has had a bunch of new things drop on there. But Miss Oli will actually be singing in this project as well. And this is actually one of her bucket list things to do. So she's checking that off her list in this new live action project. All right, guys. And this is number 4. Comedy and Color audio, or Laugh Out Loud's Comedy and Color stand-up comedy compilation drops in September, which is coming up so soon. So Laugh Out Loud is a comedy entertainment company that is owned by the famous comedian Kevin Hart. And what has now taken place is Laugh Out Loud has partnered with Simon & Schuster Audio to now release Comedy and Color Volume 1, which will be hosted by, as you see here, and he's made purple, Little Rel Howery, who starred in the famous movie Get Out by Peele, I believe that was, or Keel or Peele. I think it's by Peele. But he is going to be hosting that. Some of the comedians that you see here are Chris Stefano, Ada Rodriguez, Vera Doss, Rodney Chin, and Nate Bargatze. So this is going to drop on September 29th. So we're about a month out when this is going to drop. So I'm definitely a fan of Little Rel Howery. Congratulations to him on getting this hosting position. I know this will be several volumes that come out. I mean, who doesn't love a good laugh? And actually, Laugh Out Loud is also on Sirius XM, but I know a lot of people don't have access to that subscription-based streaming. So this will be a great way for people to tap into these amazing comedians. But again, guys, this is Jamesia Stedemeyer, and broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. I want to thank you all for watching the Entertainment 444 on Florida National News. And make sure you guys all follow me at THE_ENT_MOGUL. Melissa, back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamesia. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you for those 4 stories.
No
Good
problem.
to
See you guys later.
Take care. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. That does it for us here at the Evening News Rundown. As always, I always exhort you guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, share, do all of that fun stuff on social media. You can find us at Florida National News on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. When you go to YouTube to subscribe, also be sure to click the bell icon to get all the notifications for all of our shows. And a quick reminder to anyone looking to advertise, just shoot us a quick email at ads@floridanationalnews.com. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It is always a pleasure bringing you guys the latest updates. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. Take care.